Now, Joy, picking your nose is not good. Biting your nails is not good. You should say please and thank you. Believe it or not, this discussion about habits has quite a bit to do with trading too. Let's talk about it. Today's topic is very, very important to traders of all types, whether it's stocks, options, bonds, futures, forex, doesn't matter. The big questions that we're covering here are going to determine your success or lack thereof. So let's first just start by talking about a trade. So we have a trader or two separate traders. One trader makes $200, another trader makes $500. So my question to you is, which trade is more successful? You should be saying right now, well, I don't know. I need a little bit more context to the trade. Sure, maybe if you're just getting started, you'd say, well, that's a no-brainer. $500 trader, this trade was more successful. That trader's clearly better. But let me add in a little bit more context. And the context is this. How was the habit when trading? Now, what do I mean by how was the habit? Well, how exactly was this money made? Were there a bunch of rules broken? Were there a bunch of was this random guessing? Was this just a situation where the trader didn't honor the rules, if they even had any? What was going on with this? What kind of habits were being used here? Whereas if I were to say, this was a very structured plan, they had systems in place, they had rules in place, and sure, it was less than this one, but system-wise, they followed it, and $200 win. So yes, the system here of randomness, of guessing, of breaking rules, sure, in this case, keyword, $500. But in this case, $200. Both wins, but think about the context now. The habit. So important. You need to have a good habit, and all wins are not created equal. Let me say that again. All wins are not created equal, because the big thing is this. What type of habit is being formed? Meaning, are you creating bad habits for yourself? Breaking rules of a system, bad habits. Not even having a system, a terrible habit, and you're going to have no success long term. But Joy, you're not supposed to make me laugh. All right, sorry about that. There was some editing there, but my daughter's running around and she made me laugh. So anyways, let's get back on track. So what type of habit is being formed? If it's bad, rule breaking, not having a system in place, just going with the wind, throwing a dart, then that is a bad habit. And yeah, you're going to have winners. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to sit here and say you'll never have a winner. Sure, you're going to have winners. Well, let's introduce the one and final term here. And if you've ever watched any of my other videos, you've heard me talk about this time and time again, long term. Everything is about long term. In this case, where this was randomness and this was a well thought out plan and a plan where you honored your rules. Yeah, in this one case, for you that enjoy statistics, a sample size of one. A sample size of one to anybody running statistics, they'll laugh at you. What do you mean a sample size of one? So yeah, this sample size of one, this one instant, the pure randomness, the dart throwing, won you more money. But long term, is randomness, is having no strategy in place going to provide you any sort of longer term returns, any sort of longer term longevity in the market itself? No, you're going to blow up your account. I see it all the time. People give me their story. I started out great. So I started out making money, but now I realize that I really didn't know what I was doing. It was just guessing. I was just pretty much throwing darts, and then they end up giving it all back. Literally giving it all back. They lose all their money. Why did they give it all back? Because what type of habit was being formed when they were doing this? They thought that the randomness was some sort of, strategy. But no, in all actuality, they were forming a bad habit, and that's what's going to lead you to pretty much the graveyard. So think about habits. And finally, I just have to address this, my pet peeve. And this mainly goes towards people that are part of my chat group and trading room. So for you, or just anybody outside, or when you're trading, don't look at it like this. Don't look at something and say, well, you know, I only made X amount and it's a real small amount. Don't do that. How were the habits? If you're saying, yeah, but you know, I got stopped out, I mitigated some risk, I sold some as the price went in my direction, that's perfect. Don't sit there and degrade yourself. Don't sit there and knock yourself down because, oh, you know, I can't brag about some massive winner. Massive winners, that's only a slice of the story because we need to know, well, what kind of habits were being formed behind that winner. So if you're having small winners, don't kick my pet peeve by complaining about it. Look at the habit. If you have good habits and you're forming good habits, that's what's going to carry you through in the long term. Now I keep talking habits. Habits of what? What is a good habit? Well, habits have a very simple relationship. And the relationship is this. So this represents habit. And this is still going to be very broad. I can't do a video on what's a good habit. That's where all the, that's on you to figure out. And, if you want to check out the courses I have to offer, awesome. If not, whatever, doesn't matter to me. You do what you think's best. But what's the relationship? So habit. Habit is revolving around something. Well, what is habit revolving around? In our case, the most powerful 4 letters in the trading universe, risk. All your habits need to be based around risk. Risk systems, risk management, risk control, however you want to slice it. But risk is what keeps us as traders alive. Risk management is what needs to be focused on. And all your habits need to be revolving around that. Pure randomness, not honoring your rules. Not honoring your rules, that's totally disregarding risk. Yeah, I know that rule is supposed to be in place to protect me, to manage my risk, but I'm not going to worry about it. Your habits are no longer focused on risk. They're revolving around, who knows what else, all these external factors here. So the relationship of habits is they need to be formed on risk. So even if you have a small little winner, but you were conscious of risk the whole way through, that's awesome. Don't irritate me. Be proud of yourself because in the long term, your habits revolving around risk are going to take you very far. And when some of those people you may see, yeah, I made this amount of money, give it 3 months, 4 months. You're either going to see a tune change for them or they're just not going to be around any longer because a sample size of 1, 2, 3. Randomness, no strategy, dart throwing is only going to take people so far. So don't look at the size of the win. Look at what sort of habit was being used. That way you know what type of habit is being formed. And as long as your habits are revolving around risk, you're going to have long-term success and just be around. Your portfolio will thank you because you're not going to blow it up or anything like that. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this makes sense in terms of the mindset you should have. Don't be hard on yourself if you're practicing good rules, if you're practicing good systems. Just take it as it is, build those good habits, and you'll be around for a long time. If you found this video helpful, I'd like for you to do a few things. First, if you're watching this on my site, claytrader.com, click one of those share buttons, leave a comment down below. I will interact. I read all the comments, so any sort of feedback or interaction, I always enjoy that. If you're watching this on YouTube, same thing, click the like button and leave a comment down below. I like to interact. I want to hear from you. So whether you're a member of the community or just passing through or thinking about maybe joining, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any tricks in terms of how you can form good habits, and we can get a good discussion going down in the discussion section of the comments. So thanks for watching. Get out there, form good habits, trade with good habits, and you're going to have long-term success in trading without emotion.